All right, the Dream are getting someone back. They have a player of the month and they fall to Connecticut. We're going to talk about it all right here, right now on the ATL Dreamin Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to the ATL Dream Podcast. I'm your host, E-dub, along with my illustrious co-host, Miss Yakiri. What is up, girl?
Hello, Edwin Apparel. How are you guys? Hello, sports lovelies. I got to put on my glasses today. I can't see.
Oh my God! Today's the glasses day.
It's one of those days.
I get it. I get it. You look very distinguished.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ed. That's what I was going for.
You are such a nut. Well, wherever you are, thank you for checking us out. This is the ATL Dreamin Podcast, talking about all things your Atlanta dream. Like Yakiri said, I'm E-dub. She is Yakiri. Before we get started, because I almost forgot about this last time, let's let the folks know where you can tap in with us, where you can connect with us on the socials. Because last week I got like halfway through. I was like, oh, I didn't do the, you know what I mean? So let the folks know where they can find you, Miss Kiri, and all the things that you got going on.
Bro, I was typing in Chicks in the Sports because I didn't have my glasses on. And so I typed in a D. But it's Chicks. It is Chicks in the Sports with the S, not a D. That is Chicks in the Sports. And stop it. I couldn't see.
Chicks in the Sports. That's not a D, folks. That's like it's supposed to be an S. So if you want to follow Kiri on X, Chicks into Sport, now there's no D or there's an S there.
Yes, Chicks in the Sports, S on the gram, S on the Facebook, and no S and no D on the Twitter or the X.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, we got it. And if you want to follow the show, follow us at ATL Dreamin with an N_pod on the X. And you can follow me on Twitter at HawksBeat for my musings with the Atlanta Hawks and all of that jazz. So now that we got that out the way, we got a light show today. There's only been one game since our last show, but I wanted to come on and kind of show a little consistency with the pod. So I was like, we'll talk about the one show. We'll talk about a few things we can kind of tap into. So this won't be a long show as usual, but there is some Atlanta Dream news that we want to tap into. We have a player of the month. We'll talk about the Connecticut game. But let's take a look at the standings, Kiri. There's only been one game, and we did fall, but the Atlanta Dream are still in good position. Mm-hmm. The New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx are both 8-0. And Kiri, are they ever going to lose? Like, I mean, what are we doing here?
Good question. Please give us a break.
Like, y'all starting to be really annoying.
Right.
Like, why y'all winning all these games? You know what I mean? Like the Lynx and the Liberty. Goodness gracious. Like, you got to tip your cap to those two teams, 8-0.
Absolutely.
You got to stack wins in the W. So, following right behind them is our Atlanta Dream. They're at 5-3. Mm-hmm. You got Phoenix, Las Vegas, Seattle, and Indiana at the top 7. The Valkyries, 3-5, a very surprising team. I never really thought that this is still early, but shout out to the new team. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Our old homegirl Monique is over there balling with them.
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
New kids on the block.
Kids on the block. So as far as the standings are concerned, the Dream are still third in the totality of the WNBA. So that's a good thing. So that's the standings. I wanted to, and I didn't put this on the rundown. Two
Okay.
former Atlanta Dream players got on with some new teams. I don't know if you saw that, Kiri, but our
Mm.
old friend Ari McDonald,
Yay.
she got signed by the Fever.
Love that.
Yeah, so she's been playing, and so it's always good to see our old, our old Dream players get in and still continue to do what they love. And I
Absolutely.
believe somebody picked up Haley.
Yay.
Do you know which
Even
team it was?
better.
I can't think of which team it was. Maybe you
No,
can
you
hit the
know what?
Googles.
Let's Google now. But keep
Yeah.
talking.
So Ari came back and she's been playing well. They had like I think like an exception because Indiana had so many players dealing with injuries, and so she was able to catch on. And like you're about to let us know in a few, Haley was able to get a spot. We mentioned Monique, and so
Hmm.
it's always good that the girls are able to catch on and play somewhere else because even though they're not Dream fans, we always pull for everybody to do well and to want to continue their love of playing basketball. You know what I mean? So
It's always a good thing. It's always good to see them just continue on. And, I always say, hey, although we don't want to see you leave and we try not to root for the other team, we secretly do root for the success of Haley and of course, Ari. I mean, look, we kind of grew to love these players. We've been
yeah,
with
and we
them for,
drafted them.
yeah, right? So
So
it's
yeah,
always a good thing to see them to continue on with their dream as well with other teams.
absolutely. Top story of the week though in Atlanta Dreamland is of course that of one Miss Allisha Gray. Not only the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, but now was reported, I think, a day or two ago, that she was also the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. And
Yeah.
I have to play a little sound here
Go
from
ahead.
somebody who just spoke on this a little bit earlier. I don't even know who this is, but I'll just play a little sound real quick. I
Okay.
mean by this, and my surprise player is going to be Allisha Gray.
Was
And here's why I say Allisha Gray.
okay.
Everybody knows she's already she's already all-star, she's already 3-point marksman. I really think she is really just going to thrive this year. I
Okay.
think that she is going to thrive more this year than she did with the last year. Like the first game, she had an amazing game, 25 points, 8 boards, and like
Hmm.
6 assists, like an amazing game. I think this year she takes a step forward and like continues to excel. I am
Okay.
a little bit biased because we're both left-handed, but that's my girl, and I think that. So, I had to take it back to our first episode. And I said I wasn't going to do this. And I said I wasn't going to do it. But when she got player of the month, I had to, like, I had, and granted, I can't take all the credit, Kiri. I
Uh-huh.
really can't take all the
Uh-huh.
credit. But, like, our girl is balling, man. Like, player of the month. What do you got to say about that?
Look, this is amazing. Again, smear it all in my face, would you?
You were there with me, though. You was bigging me up. You was like, yep, you're right. You're right. So it wasn't like we was arguing.
No, no. But again, she continues to shine as the key player for our dream team. I mean, look, earning player of the week honors, now being named Eastern Conference Player of the Month. I mean, her consistent performance, it just remains a bright spot for our team. So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
And we'll get to the Connecticut game that they dropped this week, but Gray led the Eastern Conference in total points,
Hmm.
averaging 21 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, shooting 49% from the field, 43% from three. She was the only player, and I'm reading the press release. She was the only player in the East to average at least 20 points, five
Wow.
boards, and 4 assists during the month. So keep it up, Big Leash. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We got your back. We pulling for you. And it's just good to see us in getting some national headlines. You know what I mean?
Good national headlines, that
Yeah.
is.
Because we've got national headlines before.
Oh,
But we're
yes.
not going to talk about that.
Yes.
Oh, God. So this month started the beginning of the Commissioner's Cup.
Hmm. Hmm.
Unfortunately, we lost the first game to Connecticut. And last
Hmm.
week we were like, yeah, the Commissioner's Cup. And I didn't really know too much about it. So I didn't want to come unprepared. So for those of you who don't know much about the Commissioner's Cup, I have just like one or two bullet points. All right. unless Kiri wants to talk about the Commissioner's Cup. Are you up to date on? Are you up to speed on the Commissioner's Cup?
I'm somewhat up to speed, but I would love to hear I'll fill in the blanks if you have any. I doubt you will, but go ahead.
So here's the Commissioner's Cup. It's a in-season tournament, much like much like the NBA. It
NBA.
is from June 1st to, like, I think, the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
And each team is going to play, I think, 5 games or whatever. And the top 2 teams in the conference are going to play for a $500,000 prize pool. So,
yes.
yeah, that's pretty much the essence of it. It's just kind of a round robin. You play these games, you get wins and losses, and the final 2 games are the final game will be July 1st, and it's going to be hosted by the team with the best record. So that's the Commissioner's Cup in a nutshell.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I think that's an excellent opportunity for these players to get some extra coins added to their banks. It's just good. I love it. And just competing on the court, just another opportunity to keep our team active. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, the money has always been a point of contingency with the WNBA. So it's good for them to make some extra bread. I think there's like a Bitcoin sponsorship too. Like they get like a certain amount of Bitcoin. I'm not really too up on that, but like, hey, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So another reason for these ladies to compete, and I think that's a really good thing. So
absolutely,
that is what it is. So we have some news about Jordan Canada. Made her first appearance this season against the Connecticut Sun. And unfortunately, we dropped the game against Connecticut. Just your overall thoughts on Jordan coming back and us dropping the game and us kind of having to recalibrate, like kind of how your feels at the end of this week.
It's just kind of like just a doozy. Unfortunately, her coming back, we were excited about it, but she just struggled with her shooting, which was kind of tough to see. But I guess it's just important to remember that, she's a little rusty. She's been off for a while. And that timing, it takes some time to just kind of shake off that rust and get back to her rhythm. And hopefully, I think, eventually we will see Jordan back at her regular self, or if not even better than before. But most importantly, she is needed for the Dream to just boost their depth and, of course, playmaking moving forward. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her shake off this, thing that she has going on, this rust, and getting back to the basics, getting back to the Jordan that we're used to seeing.
Yeah. High motor, really good defensive player, and it's a 1 game sample size. And I think that, and I kind of said this in the notes, like having Jordan in the long term is going to be so much better for this team, But in the meantime, there's going to have to be another recalibration, right? Because you're going to move, Ryan out of the point guard position. So her shots are going to look different. Everybody's shot profile may be looking a little bit different. So they're going to have to kind of resync. But I think overall, having her on your team makes you a better team.
Absolutely.
So, I'm glad she's back. I'm not worried about 1 loss. We weren't going to go undefeated. Yeah, you wanted to get that dub because Connecticut's not really like a high powered team. But and listen, Dream fans, there might be a little bit of a recalibration here. You know what I'm saying? So, but in the grand scheme of things, this team is better when Jordan Canada is on the team. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree. Tough sting though, definitely a tough sting.
Yeah, and so it's crazy because now, like the Dream, they're off to a good start, and you see these other teams that you're like, okay, you kind of feel like they should be beating them. You know what I mean? So now you're going to have like that stigma of, okay, now you're going to go into these games and people are going to think that you're supposed to win, which is another element that the Dream haven't always had. They're always like the underdogs.
Right.
And so I wonder how they're going to handle that. Like, how do you think they're going to handle being the favorites in some of these games early on?
No, this is exciting, but I know it's going to be a tough one. The next couple of games, they're going to be tough moving forward. But I think, just knowing that depth and having Jordan back, there is time to figure it out. And I believe this team will be able to pull off some good wins, some unexpected wins for sure. But we shall see. We definitely will see, because either way, especially with our Atlanta teams. It could go either way. You know that. And I know that, and that's either
Yeah,
way.
definitely. Yeah, as far as that Connecticut team, no one really like shot the doors off. Ryan had a tough shooting game. We talked about Jordan
Hmm.
going 0 for 7. Even Allisha in that fourth quarter, which really did them in because they could have won the game. Like up in the 3 quarters, they didn't play
Hmm.
their best, but like Connecticut did a good job of kind of mucking it up. That fourth quarter, they couldn't get anything in the
Mm-mm.
basket. They couldn't get anything in
Struggled.
the basket. But
Yeah.
that's the league. It happens it happens in the NBA, happens in the W.
Hmm.
Sometimes them shots just don't fall, and they wasn't falling, Jack. Like they wasn't falling. And I
It
think
was
they had
hard
like
to watch.
I think they had like 14 or 15 points in the fourth quarter, and you're just like, oh man, like this might not be the night. So
Exactly. And that's where it was at. It was not our team's night.
yeah, so you got to kind of look at it kind of like a glass half full. Like at least you're getting your point guard back, and I mean I don't think they're too distraught over it. I mean there's 40 games that you got to play,
Hmm.
and you just got to keep pushing, man. You just got to keep pushing.
Absolutely.
Got to keep pushing. Da, 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 da. Glass half full. Oh, yeah, one more thing before we move on. The Dream are still because that was a road game. If you look at the
Yes.
totality of the little road trip, they're still 2-1 in the road trip.
Hmm.
Like if you tell me like when they were leaving this trip, they're going to be 2-1, I would have been like, hey, I'll take that every day of the week. I
Hmm.
would have thought that they probably would have split out west and probably would have won the Connecticut game. But like 2-1 is 2-1 on the road. I'll take that. And so.
Absolutely.
Um, we have 2 games coming up next, 2 home games, and two big games, man. Indiana and Chicago. Now, the Indiana game is going to be on the 10th, which is
Yes.
what day is that, Kerry? Is that Tuesday?
Tuesday. It's on
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm looking at my watch. I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday. It's going to be at Gateway. I don't think it's going to be at. It's not at State Farm, is it?
No way. It's at Gateway Arena.
So, if you're going to the game, my
Be early.
suggestion: get there early
Early.
because I mean I guess they can't just do every game at State Farm whenever Indiana comes. Like there's a lot that goes into these games when they got to move them to State Farm.
It's a lot of
So
logistics.
a lot
Yes.
of logistics, a lot of money's got to change
Hmm.
hands, and so they're just like, okay, well this one we just gonna pack inside the house. So get there early. I'm gonna tell you what. Are you planning to be in the building, Carrie?
I will be virtual, but I know you will be in the building for us, right,
Let me
Edwin
tell you
Powell?
something. I got to check and see. Like on Tuesday, I got to see what I got going on. But I tell
Okay.
you this: if I'm not able to go early, I will probably be covering that game virtually
Okay. Okay. And that's fair.
because I've tried to go to like, nah, not that game. And then
Yeah.
Chicago, the same thing with Chicago. Angel Reese is going to be in the
Mhm.
building.
Mhm.
Chicago be just as sold out as Indiana.
Yes.
So these are two of your high profile games coming into coming into this week, man. So it's going to be a lot of razzle dazzle, but I think they're going to be happy and energetic to be home. And hey, I would love to see a 2-0 week, man. I'm just putting it out there.
I think it's a possibility because again, we still don't know for sure if Caitlin will be playing on Tuesday. She's still recovering from that injury. So again, it's kind of up in the air right now. So we
Yeah,
shall know probably coming down to the last wire, the last
yeah.
hour. We'll know if she's on there. But it's going to be a interesting game for sure. And
It's going to
hopefully,
be tough, especially Indiana, because they won last night against
mm-hmm,
Chicago without Caitlin.
mm-hmm,
And folks forget, like, they still got some dogs. Like, Kelsey Mitchell
exactly.
is a problem.
Hello,
And,
Aaliyah Boston.
yes, Aaliyah Boston, like, they have, they got shooters and, our
Mm-hmm.
old friend Ari McDonald, she going to want to get her little get back. You know what I'm saying? She going to be running fast as hell when she
Yes.
get up in there. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be good to see her, but that's gonna be a battle, man. These two teams always play each other tough. Chicago's a team I think that you really need to take care of. I think that is a game that you'll probably be favored in, and I think that's a game you kind of really need to get because they don't have a lot of playmakers. They don't have a lot of sauce. So I think that's the game you really need to get. And the Indiana game might be like a 50-50 toss up. So
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but
yeah.
we're riding through.
Yeah, but like that's the W though. Like there's no easy wins in the W. I cover the Hawks, and I almost hear it once a week where the coaches and players say it's hard to get W's in this league, And the same thing with the W. You can play a team with like 2 wins, and they'll be like, "Yeah, it's tough." So
exactly. But we shall see.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna send out nothing but good vibes. They will be at home, so make sure if you go to the game that you're there early in your seat. Bria's gonna have everybody pumped up and ready to go, and let's get things popping.
Can't wait. It's gonna be good. Some good basketball, right?
Yes. So we only had a 1-game sample size, so it's gonna be kind of hard to do a player of the week.
I was so prepared though, Ed. I was just so. And you didn't.
We're still gonna do it.
Did you even ever mention you didn't see my cousin back there? You don't see her over there on my shoulder?
I did see it.
Now you see her?
I did see it. It just took me a while to realize that was her because I didn't realize that was her.
Yeah, representing the dream. Okay.
Yeah. So is that who you're gonna go through with your player of the week or like?
I am. My player of the week will be none other Ryan Howard.
Okay, respect. Because she didn't look like herself back then. That's why I didn't know that was her.
I know, but she's still Ryan, right? And here's the thing. I almost went with BG because, again, she really did show up. Even though we didn't win, she did have 18 points. And I know it's not all about the points at times, but I will give it to my cousin, Ryan Howard.
Fair enough. 18 points. Shout out to Ryan Howard. Shout out to Ryan Howard behind you. If you're listening to the audio, our last 2 episodes have also been on YouTube. So we're just trying to put out a little bit more content for you guys to consume.
Yes.
So if you like the visual medium, you know what I'm saying? Come and take a look at us and everything. We are on the YouTubes, and you can see Miss Ryan Howard behind Yakiri. You know what I'm saying? So that is what's up. My player of the game, since there's only 1 game this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Nas. I'm gonna go with Nas again. We talked about Nas last week from really stepping up and really just like, kind of finding her footing. 14 points in 23 minutes on the last game. 4-6 shooting, like 4 or 5 from the free throw line. She's really starting to find her groove. So wanted to show Nas a little bit of love. Could have gone BG, could have gone Ryan. But can't win them all. So that is going to be my player of the week. So congratulations to Ryan Howard. Congratulations to Nas Hillman. I'll make sure that you get the little plastic medals that I give to my kids at my school for your player of the week. I really should do that. I should talk to Liam if I should do that. We're like,
that would be so dope, right?
You got player of the week on the ATL Dreamin Podcast. Here is your I gotta talk and make that happen. That would be so funny.
I would love it. Let's make that happen. Let's put that in action, Ed.
I had to do it. I might gotta do it.
Perfect. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, so we did mention the upcoming games. We had the Fever coming up on Tuesday. We have the Chicago Sky coming up, and then next Sunday is it Connecticut again? No, I'm sorry. Next Sunday they're on the road. I'm sorry. Yes. Next Sunday they're on the road and they're taking on Washington. Now Washington is 3-6. They're the team that beat us in the first game of the year. So hopefully they'll have a little want to get back in them, you know what I'm saying? And, want to get back. So it's 1 game at a time, but those are the 3 games that will be this week. These will all be Commissioner Cup games. And let's go ahead and win some of these games so we can get up in that championship game. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I may have to get a loan from one of these players. Like, real talk. 500,000 on the line.
I know that's right. If New York and Minnesota ever lose a game, get the cases.
I know.
I gotta chill, man. I gotta chill.
Truly.
But ladies and gentlemen, we said we weren't going to be long today. We weren't going to keep you guys too long. So now is the time for our parting shots. This is the time where we kind of just say what we want to say. It could be sports related, it could be unsports related. And I always yield to my illustrious co-host because ladies go first. And so, Kiri, this is your parting shot.
All right. So I guess my parting shot, I'm just going to throw it to just keeping the momentum going with our dream. Our dream team, they have talent, they have heart, and they are so resilient to rise above adversity and make a real statement. It's not just about the wins or losses. It's about the fight, the hustle, and the belief that every play matters. And that's my parting shot for the week.
Excellent. I love that.
I thought you passed out for a minute. I was like, was it that bad?
No, okay. I was giving you the applause.
Okay.
Giving you the applause. I love that.
Okay.
My parting shot is I just want to give a shout out. I'm gonna jump sports a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my girl Coco Golf. For winning her what is this, like her, I think her third major or second or third major.
It is. Look, amazing.
Yes, winning the French Open.
Her first.
And yeah, I think it was her first French Open. It's not her first major though, I don't believe.
No.
But I just want to shout her out, man, because I believe in, supporting women and supporting Black women. I ain't gonna lie about that. Like, we all pulling for Coco. And so it was good to see her win. It was good to see her get a dub, and she was just so gracious in victory. And I've seen her be gracious in defeat too. So character matters, and it's nice to see her get her shine, her hard work. And so kudos to Coco. You know what I'm saying? And we're proud of you, and keep doing your thing. Go ahead and get you another major, girl.
Okay.
So salute to you. You know what I'm saying?
Salute. Yeah, Coco. We love it. I love it.
Shout out
question though. I have a quick question. I know it's a little off. Is she she's from Georgia, but really grew up in Florida? Is that how it is? So she has Florida
Not
ties?
sure. I've heard that too, but I can't confirm that. So I'm not 100% sure. But like either way, Southeast will take
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Okay. Representing Yakiri and Ed.
For sure. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the ATL Dreamin Podcast, getting you up to date on your Atlanta dream. Big week this week versus the Fever, versus the Chicago Sky, and then later on the road again against Washington. Make sure you're tapped in. Share the show, repost the show, retweet the show. All of those things. We'll be very, very grateful for those. Thank you for your support, your love. Again, we're on YouTube, and you can see us. You can see our pretty faces, and you can see Ryan Howard sitting behind Yakiri's shoulder. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tapping in with us. And I think that is it. Love's all around. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.